Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I have for you a video showing a haul. I went to a local antique store about 20 minutes away from my house. I've been there before and I showed it in a previous video. It's called the Lace Bonnet, and I saw an advertisement for her store on Facebook, and she was showing some items that I was interested in, so I thought I would go back there and have a look around. She had done some remodeling, and I was interested in a few of the things. So this is my haul. First off, I will show these postcards, and then I can put them away. She had lots and lots of antique postcards. The ones I picked up, I think most of them were from 1907 and 1908. And I just want to show quickly the back of them. They were, a lot of them, handwritten on with some beautiful writing. And they all had these stamps. Well, most of them had these stamps. It's a Canadian 1-cent stamp. As you can see, the date on this one is 1907. And the bulk of them had that stamp, but there were a couple of different stamps. For example, this one was a Quebec stamp. It's still 1 cent. I apologize for the shaking. And then also this stamp is a 1 cent stamp, but it had a different gentleman on it, on the front of it. And then there was only one postcard I picked up that did not have any stamp. I'm not sure how it was sent in the mail, but it did not have a stamp on it. And a lot of these are themed scenes, history scenes, and scenes from towns and lakes, bridges, and that kind of thing. But quite a few of them were also holiday themed. So I got some that said Happy New Year's. Some of them showed Easter items, some of them were Christmas, and so on. For example, this one here is Christmas, and you can tell by the pictures that they are quite vintage. Some of them are humorous. This one is a children's rhyme, Old King Cole, and Easter. So they were quite interesting, and I was really happy to get some of these. I display them on my gallery wall. I did show this in a previous video when I was putting up my gallery wall. And this is how I display these postcards. This wooden piece on the wall has slits in it, and I can display whichever postcards I want. It holds about 12 postcards. So I changed this out with the seasons. Right now I've got some summer and fall looking items. And then I will put Easter, Christmas, and so on, all the different holidays in there when they come up. Also included in the postcards were these items. These are leather postcards, and I wasn't aware that there was such a thing, and she said they were also antique. So I grabbed a few of these, and then when I got home I looked it up, and they are authentic. Apparently they made these from about 1905 until 1910 when they discontinued allowing people to mail these. They're so thick, I guess they were messing up their sorting machines. So after 1910 they didn't make these anymore, but I thought, wow, those are kind of cool. So I got 4 of those items. A few other things I got from her. These are gourds, and somebody has taken the time to dry these and paint on them little creatures, and I thought those are really unique. So I picked up a couple of those, that fat little round one, and then this fellow, really nice, and I thought they would make a nice display as part of my fall themed decor. Next, I picked up this. She had really reasonable prices in her store. I guess because she's local and she's not selling online, she's priced it for the local market. This is probably Murano. It's very heavy. It has these Bollicante bubbles in it. As you can see, they are very well controlled. Now the bottom of this dish does have some scratches, a few minor ones, but it's a highly polished bottom. So because of the scratches, she only sold this for $12, which I thought was pretty reasonable. Next, I picked up this little cranberry pitcher. It's almost like a Jack in the Pulpit pitcher, but it has a handle. And it is very nice also. She had a collection of this style in her cabinet, and they were all priced about the same. This one was $15. Then in a recent posting in one of my other videos, I showed where I had picked up this little pitcher. It is Royal Staffordshire, made in England, and the pattern is called Tonque, and it is red transferware. Well, when I was there this time, she had a couple other items that matched the pattern. This little wee saucer, it says it's Mason's Vista, England, but it has the same picture of the same building on it as this creamer, and the creamer sits very nicely on that little plate. As well, I picked up this item. It's a toast holder, and it also says Mason's Vista, made in England. So they all match. I was happy to get those pieces. And she sold me this one because it's a little more rare. It was $12, and this little plate was $4. She had a whole bunch of these lamp crystals or chandelier, I think they're lamp crystals, in a dish, and she was selling them for 50 cents each. So I just picked up 4 to put in a little dish as part of a display. Next, I found this little bottle that she had there. It's an antique bottle, and I just thought it was kind of cool. Still has the original cork in it. I do have some older bottles, and I will show you where I display some of those. So this is part of my fall display on my mantle, and you can see here I put some of my vintage and antique bottles, and that's where I've also placed this one. Then as part of my ongoing collection for my kitchen, where I collect old and vintage kitchen items that have red on them, I found this one. It's a grinder of some kind. I'm not sure if it was for cloves or nutmeg, maybe salt, but it's just going to be displayed in my kitchen along with some of the other vintage items that I have. And my puppy has brought himself into the video. Then also I picked up this photo card. She had a few of these. It's not a gentleman that I know. I just like to use these in my displays as well. And while I was there, I was looking at some of these spindles. She had a whole pail full of them. So I was just going through them, looking at the different designs. And she told me to pick out a couple and I could have them for free, which was really nice of her. So I did pick out a couple that still had some red on them. And then I picked out this one as well because it had more design on it. So I thought that was kind of unique also. And then my last big item that I picked up that day was this tray. And I have always wanted a display tray, a printer's tray or a sewing tray. And she had this one there for $20, which I thought was a really good price. It's quite large. I would say it's 2 feet across by about 18 inches wide. And each box has a depth of about 4 inches. It also has handles on the end, on each end. But I plan on standing this up and using it as a display cabinet for smaller items. I also picked up this enamel coffee pot because it has red decorative accents. And I have a small collection of these pieces of enamel, so this is just to add into my collection.